3, 2, 1. Love Talk Radio.
That's lovely. And you're just in time. This is Dr. Deb Carlin here on the K Factor, which is about kindness. And the factors are all the things that lead to it. And this is a new platform for our YouTube channel, which is called Partners in Excellence Media. Because my co-hosts and I, who have been doing shows since the summer, bouncing around here in 2020, got kind of down and anxious and uncomfortable with the news. So we collectively decided we are the news. And what is the news? You know, there are world events and local events, but the most important events are the events within you. What's happening within you as a result of, in part, what's happening to you. But we have the most influence over our own self. So welcome here today. This is Sensuous Saturdays. And you're just in time because as I was preparing for the show, I pulled out one of my most sensuous pleasures, which is a Bonnie Bell, and this is ancient lip gloss, which actually, it really keeps my lips creamy and soft and smooth year round. Gives me kind of a little blushed look on my lips, but most importantly, the aroma of this is just so much fun. It's slightly sparkly, but here's the point about Sensuous Saturdays, okay? Sensuous Saturdays are about eliciting life within you by paying very close, dialed in attention to your five senses and then your sixth sense. So what are your five senses? Taste, smell, hearing, seeing, and feeling, touching, tactile. So it's everything that we experience in this life, but we become kind of cavalier about it and take it for granted and don't really dial in. But I think especially this year, it's important for us to dial in. So I'm dialing into my Bonnie Bell. And as I open up the tube and I smell it, I think this smells delicious. So I have to work not to lick my lips, but it's okay if I do. But it just kind of makes me giggle and laugh and feel girly and fun and lighter hearted when I participate in this fun, silly activity that I do. What are some of my other things? Well, in my office here, I do a number of things to lighten my mood and make me happy. Like for one thing, visually, all around me here, I've got photographs of the family of my origins, my parents, me at various points in my life. That's inspiring. Candles. I've got candles lit. You can see them over my shoulder here if you're looking on the video. If you're on Blog Talk Radio and you're listening to the audio of this episode, I'm going to continue to invite this audience to going over to YouTube and to see old episodes. You can go to the Deborah Carlin channel. And if you want to see the new episodes, they are on Partners in Excellence Media. That's the new channel, and it's in transition. So, well, we've got over 100 videos on the Deborah Carlin channel. We only have a couple yet on the new channel, but Partners in Excellence Media. So come join us, subscribe, and stick with us so that you stay dialed in every single day to the news, and news is good for you. So the candles that I use slow burning candles, and I also use candles that are most often in a glass tube or some sort of container, because I prefer to not have them dripping and running on the tables. Although I have a couple solutions for that. I'll show you another time when I do an episode in another room here. This is a 100-hour candle, and it's made from pure vegetable palm wax. And this one is called Fire and Passion, and it's a feng shui candle. I love this. You know, it's energy. And laugh if you will. I do, but I laugh and I take it seriously. As, by the way, I'm wearing my energy device that is eliciting in me all kinds of good, healthy things because it's doing a cellular activity for me throughout my body with things that I've directed it to do. Now, hide it back under my hair there for a few minutes so as not to distract you. And again, if you're not seeing the video, you're missing out on it. Um, Everything in this world is energy. We know what a good vibe is, what a bad vibe is. We get a sense of it from people, don't we? So these candles all have got some sort of a theme on them. This one is about feng shui, and what it says on the label is this is about fire. Um, Attraction, romance, joy, intimacy, insight, and action. And the essential oils in here are lavender, palmarosa, rosemary, and ylang ylang. So here's the thing. It just makes me feel good. And the colors are lovely. So I've got a purple one back there that's almost burned all the way down. I have a white one back there, and they're on love and safety. And it just feels right. As I'm sitting here, excuse me, drinking a beautiful herbal tea that's got a great aroma to it. And you know, I just get it at the regular grocery store, and it is a ginger peach turmeric. And here's what I find. It really is very aromatic. It's calming. I don't need to add any honey to it because it's flavorful. And the turmeric in it, however much there is, just makes my body feel better. And turmeric, if you study herbs or supplements at all, you'll have a, an elicitation in your memory there that it is very good for inflammation. So I'm drinking this tea and just savoring it. I love the feel and the look of my cup. I like the weight of it. I like the size of it. I like the decoration on it. These are all things that might seem subtle, but aren't we attracted to things because of the way that they look and feel, whether it's people or inanimate objects or animals? And so it's really smooth to the touch, and it's yellow and purple with some grapes on it. And it's got a green rim around the top of it. And my hand fits around it just perfectly. And when I have it full, it's a great hand warmer. So it's all my senses coming together. And I don't slurp, otherwise I could hear myself sipping it. But we'll get to the audible sounds. Now, here's another thing that I have in my office here. And I bought this because it is a piece of crystal. And the thing I like about it is that it's got colors that I love. It's turquoise on the outside, brown on on the inside, and brown on the outside. It is just a little bit dazzly and sparkly, and it's concave. And so I set it on a little stand in my office, and it just kind of refracts the light a little bit and gives the room a bit of a sparkle, which is just pleasant. Now, is there meaning behind that crystal? I imagine that there is. Everything, going back to the theme of energy, is about vibration. You know, the earth has a vibration to it, the sun and the moon and the stars, and we all feel that, but it's something that we habituate to, and so we don't think about it very often, but we can feel it. Like right now, you're getting a vibe from me, which I hope is the following. I hope it's warm and friendly and kind. I hope it's relaxing for you. I hope it's intriguing. Because when I'm paying attention to my vibe, I wake up in the morning and I can feel either my high vibration because I wake up really happy, and I can even feel it in the beat of my heart and in how clear thinking my mind is. If I wake up in the morning I'm distressed, I'm distracted by the news of the world, I can feel the sullenness bringing my vibration down. And that's why we say you feel down. You know, the colloquialisms that we use are really wisdom. Like when we say that we're down, our vibration really is down. If we measure the frequency of it, it's measurable. At Tony Robbins events, he is famous for loud music, ice cold rooms. He wants you up and jumping. He wants to change your physical state in order to change your mental outlook, and it really works. Of course, I've been to his events and I complain that I'm freezing. And he says, get up and move around. If you're really cold while we're sitting, we got blankets. So there's something to it, it works. So the vibrations that we feel we can influence. There's a direct correlation that's been attributed to a causal relationship, not just correlational, where if you're down and you put on music and you start moving around and hip hopping and dancing and jumping, your mood will elevate because it's following your physiology, because the heart talks to the mind. We've discovered in HeartMath that there's actually so much neural communication from the heart to the mind that when we argue about what's first, thoughts or emotions, we could argue that all day, but who cares? Because it goes both ways, and there's things that you can do to influence your heart and your mind for your benefit. And Sensuous Saturdays are about your benefit through your senses. So far, we've covered a few of the senses. And here's another one. This is delicious. This is a bottle of aromatique number 65 grapefruit fandango. And I put this on potpourri in my home. I will put it into little tiny hand bowls that it'll either soak into because they're wooden and porous, or I'll put it into something that is glazed like my mug and it'll just evaporate, or I'll put it into a diffuser. And that citrusy smell is soft and lovely and cleansing. And it, again, just makes me feel good. When people walk into my private home or my office, they always comment, how does your house always smell so good? What sprays are you using? What I tell people is, I'm not using anything artificial. I'm using live plants because they're lush and they breathe with me and they grow and they're pretty, and I have things that are blossoming year round, and they're aromatic and they are also visually appealing. So when you come in, I want you to start to relax right away, because there's aromas and things to look at and touch and feel, and the fabrics are wonderful against your skin, so you get this great tactile experience. And then I always have things for people in the way of, like, are your hands dry, by the way, from all this activity of sanitizing them, the high alcohol content. So I've got all kinds of little lotions around. Some of them are, bigger bottles. They've got a pump on them. And some of them, I want my guests to pick it up and hold it and warm it up for themselves a little bit. And this happens to be by Pogesi, made in Italy. It's a body lotion that is cocoa mango. And it's just a really soft, light pink, almost gray. Oh, it smells like a baby. You know how a baby's head smells, or a puppy, they smell like kind of baby powder and just sweet. And so I invite people, put this into your hand and rub your hands together and allow yourself the wonderful sort of a hand massage experience of putting it in the palm of your hand and rubbing your hands together and feeling your fingers and noticing the dry spots and just loving them up a little bit with the extra lotion that you can put on there. And it's not about overdosing your skin, but it is about taking care of the largest organ on your body, which is your skin, and making it feel comfortable, not dry. And the aroma is magnificent. And I actually, they might think this is funny, I run my hands through my hair because I like for my hair, even after my conditioners and things I put on it and shampoos I use, I like for it to feel great and also smell great. And the remains of my lotions do that for me. So it's wonderful. Now let's move on to taste. So this morning I made myself some eggs. And you know what I love about eggs? Everything. I love the 6 grams of protein that I get out of them. I have two, so I'm getting 12 grams. I need about 80 to 100 grams of protein a day. So that's not a bad start. Now maybe have a can of tuna for lunch, which is 45 grams. So I'm making my way through. And when I eat eggs, mm, 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 mhm, mm, mm. I love to put it in my mouth. I love to put it in a nice bowl with a nice utensil. I pick my things carefully because I want to experience joyfulness in everything that it is that I do. And in the domestic sphere, I've got total influence. So I love that about foods. I do my eggs in one of my favorite little skillets. I put a little butter and a little olive oil in there. So I'm getting the nutritional benefit of both. Crack my eggs, let them saute a little bit, mix them in, add a little salt and pepper and put them in a beautiful bowl and spice them up. This morning I used a Provençal blend of herbs, sprinkled it over them, and they look and smell fabulous. And as I'm sitting here at my desk, I pat my nose. I always have a little Kleenex or a hanky. And the Kleenex that I use are Puffs Plus. And then when I dab my nose, because I have a little moisture, it feels great and it doesn't dry out my skin. Have you ever used a Kleenex and it starts to feel really rough after a while? I don't want any challenges in life beyond what we already have. So that's what this show is about. It's about experiencing your senses so that you have influence over your experience and how you feel and how you think. Now, what about the sixth sense? Because we've gone through all five. What about that sixth sense? It's your intuition. Your intuition, we say, well, what's going on in your mind? Well, what mind do you mean? The mind in my head, the mind in my heart, or the mind in my gut? Because there's an intuitive part to all of them. And it just depends on what side of the argument you want to be on. And I don't really care to argue, so I'm not going to argue that point. But I will tell you this. When you get a beat of your heart or a fluttering, it's a signal for you to pay attention to what's going on in your thoughts and your feelings. When you get a feeling in your gut about something, and we've all used that expression, oh, I just had a gut feel about it. Oh, I could just experience it right in my gut. It hit me right in the gut. What we're talking about is our intuition. Our intuition is our inner spirit that's really speaking to us. It's the core of our wisdom. So when your gut tells you yes or no, go with it. Trust yourself and have a luscious time doing that because you won't lead yourself astray. What most of us do is we get into an argument of justification for desire or something. I can't tell you because I don't want to how many times I haven't listened to my gut and I went the other way. And 100% of the time, it turned out to be really awful and sometimes disastrous. And once you've made enough mistakes, you start thinking, oh my gosh, can I ever recover? Yes, like that, in the snap of fingers. Dial in and start talking to yourself. Now, in the room that I'm in, this for me is luscious. It's home. It's comfortable. It's beautiful. The wood is a beautiful tiger wood, and it's luxurious and rich, and it's a part of nature. It's all natural. It's the real wood panels. And everything that I have here and the sound of the water outside my windows brings me into a place where, unless I'm resisting myself, I can feel my calm. And that's really important for all of us. The other thing is this device that's sitting on my shoulder. If you go to my Facebook page, which is Deborah Carlin, or you go to LinkedIn, which is Dr. Deb Carlin, you're going to find information about what it is I'm wearing here. But I'm going to tell you, this is probably the most splendid thing I've ever used to help me calibrate me and get myself back into alignment with me instead of feeling jittery or like my mood is off or my thinking isn't clear. It's a wonderful device as a guide. And if you want to know more, you'll have to click on that link and you can find out all kinds of things. It won't take too much time. So, my friends, on that note, I hope that you have a wonderful, beautiful, sensuous, really yummy, delicious, wonderful day. It's Saturday. So, on that note, this is your host, Dr. Deb Carlin, signing out on Sensuous Saturdays. Until next time, ta-ta.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
That means it's official. It's a wrap. Have a nice day.